Hi everybody, this is Ian Johnson over at Human Function and Levo Fitness. I'm going to talk to you guys today about Levo and why this is the next step in exercise and why you want to check this out and try to do it. I'm a physical therapist, exercise science major by trade. I've been in the industry for about 10 years now as a PT, and then additional years obviously getting my training. So probably close to about 20 years total experience. I've been an exercise nut all my life. I play soccer, I was running cross country, I was in the military. I've got a good exercise background. I'm no stranger to the gym. I'm used to that cycle of going to the gym and working out 6 days per week, and at some point that just stopped happening. So in my experience, that just wasn't sustainable long term, and the real reason was that I started to grow a family. I had 2 kids, and it just became too much. I was trying to run my business, trying to exercise those 6 days a week, and when I would miss a day, it would just tear me up internally. So eventually I just stopped going, which is, I think, pretty typical for a lot of us out there. The problem with most of the exercise right now, as I see it, is that it is a 6 or 7 day proposition, and it looks kind of like this. Go into the gym on Monday and we do the upper body, and we do hopefully about 30 minutes of cardio work. The upper body takes about 60 minutes to get done, and then we come back the next day and we do the lower body. We have to give the upper body a day off just to recover. We do another 30 minutes of some type of cardio, and the lower body probably took about 60 minutes if we're doing it nice and slow and controlled and really getting the best effect out of our workout. And then you just repeat that process. You go upper body, lower body all the way through the week until you hit the end of the week. For me, that was a problem, because if I missed one day because I had to take care of my family, or I wanted to do something other than working out every night, I would just, I would miss one of these days. So if I missed my lower body on Tuesday, I'm in a conundrum here. I have to go back to the gym and I have to decide, am I going to go in now and do my upper body again, or am I going to do my lower body again? And it just was really demotivating for me. Levo's a bit different. We don't have to run in this pattern consistently. There are many different exercise methods out there, that's for sure. This is what I found out to be the absolute best one in my mind. I can go to the gym now 2 days a week, maybe 3 if I really want to, and I get my whole body done on Monday, and it takes me 45 minutes. That whole body workout is actually better than the upper body workout that I would have done in the old style of exercise, doing the slow 3 sets of 10 up and down. I don't work out on Tuesday unless I really want to. If I have a heavier need to get rid of some of the fat quicker, I could do some aerobic burning activities, but it's not a requirement on Levo. This 45 minutes includes your aerobic work at the same time, which is kind of interesting. My body will probably need a second day off because the exercise is pretty intense. It's simple but intense. And then I come back and I can do my whole body again 2 days later, take a couple days off, and then I repeat that cycle. If I miss this day, I don't really care. I can come back and do it on either one of these days and just push my stuff back a little bit. I have so much more flexibility in my workouts. It's pretty cool. Let me show you why this works with a little diagram of a muscle here. If we take bicep muscle and we just take it out of the body, it looks something like this if you look at it sideways. It's built up of a whole bunch of muscle fibers that run linearly. This line that I'm drawing here represents how much of the muscle is activated volitionally. That's what you can control with your mind. So when I say contract and I go and do as much weight as I can possibly do, that's that half of the muscle or more. The top above the line is going to be your non-volitional muscle. That's the muscle that is typically activated when you're doing your fight or flight activities. So you hear the story about the mom that throws the car off the child. She found this extra superhuman strength to be able to do that. Well, her body just kicked in and allowed her to use the rest of her muscle in order to make that happen. So that's basically what we're concerned about with Levo, is trying to get into this this non-volitional side. And we have to do that by providing an external stimulus to the muscle in order to activate it. Old-fashioned exercise, again, if you're doing 6 days a week, if you want to get a very good workout, you have to do 3 sets of 10. Slow and controlled, that means you have to go up in 2 seconds, down in 3 seconds. And if you do 1 set, you'll get somewhere around 70% of the volitional muscle activated. You do your second set, you get a little more, maybe it's about 90% of the total volitional muscle activated. You do your third set, and now you've really done it, you've burnt yourself out. You did a great job, and you got about 97% of your body fatigued, or that muscle fatigued. This 97% will go up a little bit more and a little bit more with those additional sets. So you could do 4 sets or 5 sets, but you can see that it's gonna take some time to get through that. When we apply the Levo technique, we get all of the volitional muscle to activate, and that happens with 1 set of the exercise. So we do 1 set of 8 to 10 repetitions. We do it in a very specific way. I've taken the research and really focused in on how we're going to accomplish this. And during this 1 set of 8 reps, with the external stimulus that we're applying, we're activating a portion, well, we're activating 100% of your volitional muscle, and then a portion of your non-volitional muscle. I don't know exactly what that portion is, but I can tell you that you are absolutely flattened after your 1 set of 8 to 10 repetitions, and you can't do a second set of 8 to 10. I've tried it, and what usually happens is I'll make to about 3 or 4 more repetitions, even after a nice 30 to 60 second break like you should take, and it just won't work. The muscle is completely fatigued, and that's great. So now I've got my workout time down to 1 set instead of the 3 sets. So I've saved 2/3 of the time of the workout, and that is why I can go to the gym twice a week without having to really worry about it. When I started this training program, I worked out 3 times a week just as an experiment. I used myself as my experiment. I created a series of exercises that would target every major muscle group in my body, all in very safe ways, so I wasn't doing any risky activities. There's no jumping, no plyometrics, no handstand push-ups, there's no burpees or kip-ups or anything that's what I call pseudo-exercise, just slow, controlled, steady motions that have a proven effect in the research. What was I going to say? Sorry, guys. During the first 8 weeks of training of just 45 minutes per day without any cardio, I went from 23% body fat down to 15% body fat. And my weight went from 162 pounds up to 172 pounds. So I put on more than 10 pounds of muscle, probably closer to 15 or 20 pounds of muscle. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I measured with fat calipers and just took all those measurements and went ahead and recorded everything. In the next 4 weeks, I got down to 13% body fat and maintained my weight, and actually went up a little bit more. I maxed out at 174, which is pretty cool for me. It means that I've got a lot more muscle on the frame. It also means that my metabolism is running at a much, much higher rate. And it was 2 days a week, and it was no cardio, and it was pretty easy to get into the gym and accomplish that. I can't say that I missed many days at all, if any. I probably did miss a couple, but I didn't feel the stress and the pressure of needing to be there 6 days a week, which was great. We've replicated this. After I did this with myself, I brought in some people to do the same thing with us in my clinic space at Human Function, just as a pilot study. So I brought in Rich, and he was 31% body fat. He trained for 16 weeks, I believe. And he chose us over another program that was a proven program, and and I let him do this for free, just in an attempt to really prove to myself and prove to him that this was a viable option. He worked out 3 days per week. He did add in cardio, and I can talk more about why he did that. He had some pretty lofty goals, but he went from 31% body fat down to 17% body fat in 16 weeks. And he strength trained with us the same. He did 3 days a week strength training. And then his cardio was about 15 to 20 minutes of cardio 2 times a week. So nothing too crazy, but it was a very specific type of cardio that is also a much more rapid effect, just something that's more scientific based. His total weight, I can't remember the total weight right offhand, but the body fat percentage change was what we were really after. And I can tell you, he leaned out so much. You can go onto YouTube and look at the videos there, and he has his little testimonial video. It doesn't show his physique really well, but his spinal posture corrected. He had curves in his spine. I was working with his chiropractor at the same time, and we saw all that stuff just straighten out and become more balanced. He was a computer user that sat at a desk all day, so his shoulders were rolled forward pretty far, his head was pretty far forward, and now everything's just lined up. He said he feels stronger than he ever has. He also states that, you know, he hasn't been this fit since he was doing football back in high school. He's wearing clothes that haven't fit him since high school. He said he put on a suit jacket that his dad had bought him when he graduated high school that he just didn't think he'd ever wear again, and he's back into it. So we've got those changes behind us now too. So we took that success, and then I wanted to figure out, how am I going to deliver this to everybody? You know, it's not enough for me just to do this for myself and just for a couple people. And in my clinic space, I've got a definite limitation on how many people we can reach. I can only treat this way 1 person per hour. So I went ahead and changed the format up. It's the same series of exercises, but now we've partnered individuals up to do this in a group setting. And this is the first ever true strength training program that's in a group format. The class times went up a little bit because we're training 2 people at once, so we're at 60 minutes, but we're still at just twice a week, which is still pretty darn good. The group format allows for a lot more commitment to the other people in the group. You've got to actually be there for them. It's also a lot more like having a personal trainer. Your partner is spotting you the entire time, and they are the ones that are directing your safe body postures, and it's just a much cleaner method and cheaper method than going out and getting a personal trainer for $75 to $100 to do the same thing with you 2 to 3 times a week. With the group training method, you can get in there at a much lower price point, which is cool. Let's see. Yeah, I hope that's enough for now. I'll add a little bit more to this if I can figure out how to splice it in. I'm not a great video expert yet, but this gives you at least a little sample and taste of what's going on here. I guess the other thing I want to tell you guys is that I'm developing right now a home system, the same system that I used at the gym that I've got for home now. So if it's something that you want to get started on right away, you can call me and I'll send out a sample of what that looks like, and we can go ahead and just put it all together for you and get you going on it now instead of waiting until Levo finally gets into every gym across the states and hopefully the world. But some people love the class format, some people love to work out individually, and I'll provide that for you guys too. Yeah, all right, so hit me up at levofitness.com and we can talk some more. I have to try to answer every email that comes through. My personal email address is ian@levofitness.com, and I really hope you guys take the challenge and try this out. It's much different than anything you've ever done before, and I believe this is where we're going. We're going to save a lot of time, we're going to get stronger, and it's just going to change the platform. It's great. Thanks. Bye.